Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back in the studio for Action Sunday. Now, about a week prior, I mentioned I wanted to get one more Bruce Willis movie under my belt before I move on to other things. So, what better way to close out this chapter than why not? I want to look at The Last Boyscout. Oh yes, a bit of a cult classic that features Bruce Willis alongside Damon Wayans, and of course, I've heard a lot of good things about this, as well as some really interesting, juicy behind-the-scenes things. So, without any further ado, let's just dive right in, okay? I'm going to say this right now, right off the bat. Of course, I want this off my chest. Holy shit, that opening credits sequence was fucking awesome, okay? Come on. Friday night's a great night to be for football. I mean, holy shit. That song alone just made me want to get up and dance. Like, get me pumped and excited for a game of football. Well, in a perfect world, nowadays, I'd rather watch college football than the NFL, or better yet, maybe that new USA or USFL league that I've been seeing a lot about. But yeah, or XFL. But anyway, you get my point. But that just made me excited for the rest of this movie. That kind of to me set the tone for what was to come. But what I know is that this is far from what I expected. So for those of you that have seen it, unfortunately for me, I've never seen it before. So Bruce Willis plays a former Secret Serviceman named Joe Hallenbrook or Hallenbeck. Again, that's been a constant thread or running joke throughout the movie. And yes, I'm addressing it. They couldn't get his last name correct. But of course, kind of think about it, I feel like his last name would be best for his partner or friend of me, played by Damon Wayans, which would have been Jimmy Dix. So why not call it Jimmy Hallenbeck and have his last name be Joe Dix? But then again, a bit of a double entendre there, if you get my drift there. So yeah, so you got Bruce Willis, you got Damon Wayans, who's a former football player, an ex-football player who's been kicked out of the league for reasons, of course, which you'll get into. And of course, how do these guys get entwined? Well, Joe, what happens is his original assignment is that he assigned to be like a bodyguard or protector for this girl, played by Halle Berry, by the way, who I did not expect in this movie. As like how I would say, she's trying to ask for protection because she apparently has some kind of dirt that kind of entwines his story with Dix's story. So once you get the gist of those, you realize, oh shit's bound to happen, and right away the tension's right there, both between the characters, not to mention the actors from what I was told. But from there it goes at a crazy breakneck speed. Of course, I just love seeing what they can do or throw at the screen. Okay, man, like there were so many intense moments, from car chasing. There's a shootout, and then of course that I really enjoyed once all that crazy bullshit falls out of the way, and you slowly see the plot coming to the surface. You realize you think these guys are definitely in over their head. And like, I really think, despite the shit that happened behind the scenes, I feel like this movie was definitely enjoyable. I just don't get the flack that these two got. Sure, I get it. Well, yeah, has a bit of an ego problem, and not to mention his star power is on the rise. And yeah, I get it, but at the same time, you have to enjoy the final product. Even though what I found out was that the original cut was completely unwatchable, and they had to go back and do edits. There was so much like crazy backstage things. There was tensions between Joel Silver and Tony Scott and Willis and even the writer Shane Black. And I feel bad for the guy himself, for Shane Black himself, because this is the same guy that wrote Predator and Lethal Weapon, all this other good stuff, the good, needy goodness of the 80s that we all loved. And it's a damn shame, like, this one doesn't get a lot of recognition or love, but I feel like over time, people should give it a better watch. I feel like people should appreciate it for what it's worth. But yet, yes, okay, of course, I hate to go back this well, is like, yes, I know Tony Scott did not like working on this movie. And of course, this goes to show that, again, studio involvement, and I hate when that happens, okay? I've said this before in a video back in my Just for Giggles series, is that, listen, let me tell you something. You're a producer. Your job is to make sure that the movie gets the money and the funds it has, and the cast. Beyond that, everything else is in the director's hands, okay? That's it. You have no right, and I get it. Yeah, Joel Silver likes to be hands-on, but still, leave the producing to you, the director to the director, okay? If any more crap involvement, then you just say, fuck this. The movie should not be produced, okay? And I'm noticing a trend between this and watching The Offer about the cover really shows me the really dark underbelly and behind the scenes of making movies, okay? Yes, it's a mentally and emotional harm to anybody to making it, okay? Whether you're Albert Ruddy or even if you're freaking Joel Silver, you have to know your limits, okay? And yeah, I hate to go off on this, but seriously, okay? Studio involvement is just one of the biggest problems, I think, that marred the success of this movie. But to me, I feel like The Last Boy Scout over time will get the recognition, and seriously, it's a damn fine product if you look at even though there's some choppy moments of throughout the movie. Like I felt like at one point I'm like, okay, something's off here, but I'm like, oh, there was some heavy editing. I'm like, apparently why I found out this got the dread NC-17 rating originally, but there was a shit ton of stuff that they left on cutting room floor. It was so much time consuming that the editor was like, Jesus Christ, this was a nightmare just trying to make this a watchable movie. And I really feel like with the final product what we got really I think it was good, but not great. And of course, another thing that I think hindered its success was that it was released around Christmas time. And so, yeah, technically, this is, in my opinion, this is not a Christmas movie. There's not like one lick of Christmas themes in this thing, with the exception of one. But that's it. It's not considered a Christmas movie, all right? But overall, I really enjoyed it for what was worth. Even though like Willis and Wayans didn't get along, but I loved their characters. I loved everything. And by the end, like, you were satisfied. Like, the good guys go home and all that good things. Yeah, and also props to Danielle Harris for her role. And of course, that completely took me by surprise. I really enjoyed her in the Halloween movies, but seeing her here as a teenager, like not being like the one vulnerable, scared kid. The kid here, I feel like she was able to do what she can, but at the same time, you're like, oh shit, she knows she's in trouble. And believe it or not, this was one of her favorite roles. I was like, really? Despite all the shit that I heard about, it's impressive. And to me, I feel like the real trooper here is her, and not Willis or Wayans. But yeah, forget it for what it's worth. The Last Boy Scout, I think, definitely gets some recognition. It's a fine movie. The action sequences are cool. I love the whole football saying, and of course, seriously, that again. Props to the opening intro alone. That's what put it over the top for me. That made me just excited for this movie. All right. And with that in mind, I'm gonna give The Last Boy Scout, I'm gonna give it a solid 7. I was tough between that and 8, but I feel like it's a solid 7. I feel like again, the one thing I think hindered it was studio involvement, some choppy editing a little bit. But other than that, it's still a pleasant viewing experience because it just brings a smile to your face. All right. So that does it for this week. Let me know what you think. Go give us a watch if you want to give it a watch. If you've seen it more times than me, seriously, give it a watch. All right. Thumbs up the video and subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting videos.